Hey everyone, Mauricio here. In this sneak peek video for RGV Aerial Photography's first special flyover episode, we'll be giving you a short overview of the changes this week at Starbase, Texas. These images were taken from the flyover conducted on Wednesday, September 27th, so look forward for our special long edition flyover history recap coming out next week, as well as our Starbase weekly show on Saturday. The first and most notable change this week at Massis is Ship 29 after its rollout back last Thursday, September 22nd. Then on the evening of Tuesday the 26th, the ship was filled with cryogenic liquid nitrogen and oxygen and underwent a second test on the 27th after our flyover. Now we can expect it to roll back to the build site for engine installation. Thanks to Fabian Ramirez for taking this awesome night shot. Looking down, we see Ship 27's aft section, which also rolled out on September 27th and was placed inside the structural testing cage. We don't yet know the exact reason for this test. What do you think this test is for? Let us know in the comment section down below. Our final stop at Massis is at the burst pad, where we see S-26.1 ship aft simulator is laying on its side after being crowd tested to destruction last week. Over at Sanchez, at last we can see some work finally taking place on the GSE building again. In the left rear of the building, we can see metal sheeting starting to be hung. On the left side of the building, we can also see where a new concrete pad has been poured. Just on the other side of the driveway where the new stand construction area is, we can see the 20 booster clamp arms we spotted last week have been inserted into the stand. Rounding out Sanchez, we can see where a stand has shown up behind S-28 and the LR-1750 crane. Could this be a sign that S-28 will be removed from the engine installation stand soon? Our 2 points of interest at the build site today are going to be the high bay and star factory. Inside the high bay, Ship 31 was stacked onto its mid-lock section just 3 days ago on Monday, September 25th, leaving just the aft section remaining to be stacked and welded. S31 now only shares the high bay with S30, which is still awaiting its turn for testing. Switching over to this image of the star factory, the erection of these taller steel beams continued down the sides of Phase 2 of the Star Factory expansion. Meanwhile, the installation of roofing panels and siding onto the section of the Star Factory has almost been completed, and we can now clearly see where the locations of these large exterior doors will be. Once completed, the finished product is due to be 720,000 square feet in size. That's about 66,900 square meters for those of you across the pond. Moving on to the launch site. First up at the suborbital site, we notice that they are still adding dirt behind the tank farm. They are still preparing this area for an unknown reason, but we continue to look for clues. Over at Pad B, Ship 26 has been hooked up to the crane again to allow workers to access the inside of the tanks ahead of final preparations for its static fire testing campaign. Moving over to the orbital tank farm expansion area, we can see that they ripped out the concrete we saw being cut last week, and also rebar is being installed to prepare for a new foundation. We speculate this could be an expansion of the concrete wall for the tank farm for protection. Sliding over to the south, we see the BDAWG tank farm, where the most noticeable change is that they have removed all the scaffolding around the piping of the third big water tank. This could mean that they wrapped up the installation work and that it's ready for testing. Finishing up on the orbital launch mount, we have quite a surprise. Ship 25 is finally stacked on top of Booster 9 again, and it occurred just before the flyover on Wednesday. Check out this time-lapse capture by our very old RGV cam capturing the full stack. This could mean that they could test the BDAWG system again soon, as Ship 25 is not in the way of the water, and crowd testing or even a wet dress rehearsal could be performed with a full stack in the near future. The last thing we notice here is we can see the Fondak holes that were poured last week are now cured. Hopefully, this is the last concrete work around the pad. And that's it for our brief preview of the changes at Starbase this week. Consider supporting us on Patreon to gain access to premium flyover pictures. This support also helps pay for the expenses associated with the flyover. Stay tuned for the special RGV flyover episode coming out next week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed our content, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on seeing more videos like this. That's all for now.